So, all right, you got to bear with me a little bit here. Had a camera malfunction, and I completely got this knife disassembled, and then found out that my camera wasn't running. So, anyways, we're going to start here. This is a Kizer um, that's pretty cool. I actually have another one of these that's brand new in a box, and I had an opportunity to pick this one up at a reasonable price. It's a Ki4404, and so I went ahead and did that. It's clearly it's used. It's really dirty, but I don't see any unnecessary wear on it. So here's what I'm gonna do. This is going in the ultrasonic. I'm gonna take the rest of these pieces and parts off of here, and I'm gonna put it in a bath and let it soak and see if I can't get this to come out and look new. How about that? It's it is a really cool knife, and like a lot of the Kaisers of this period, very Hinderesque in the build nature, the grip, the ergonomics, and of course, unfortunately, I went through all that. You don't get to see any of that. We'll just have to come back and, you know, we'll put it back together and we can talk about it there. But yeah, it's got wonderful ergonomics. I don't know. It makes no sense. So I'm going to clean it up, and then, like that, we'll be back. But in reality, it's going to be a bit before we come back to this, because this knife needs a really good soak. These G10 overlay, it's got titanium scales, but then on this one side, it's got this G10 overlay that's also dimpled. It's very cool, but it's filthy. Deep down in these crevices, really dirty. So we're going to go clean it up. And when you blink your eyes, we'll be back fresh and new. Okay. So, just like that, the ultrasonic, just completely cleaned this thing up. Now, it did leave this G10 scale looking kind of dry in there. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to, should I rub that with the oil, or I'm not really sure how I'm going to handle that, but all the hardware, everything just comes out looking like brand new. It just gets all the grit and grime out of it. Really, the only thing I have left other than assembly is to polish up these washers. So let me grab my little friend, and man, let's get these polished up. This one's almost bigger than the belt, but I think we can still get it done. And they are filthy. Yeah. So, golly, I have an affliction for these older Kaisers, man. And it's funny chasing them around, because I've got, I don't know how many searches I have up and where, in all the different places. I just get notifications when things pop, but it's funny, man, because boy, there's a group of collectors out there that, they think they are worth way more than I think they're worth. Which, as a buyer, that's not uncommon, I guess, to have an opinion that it's worth less than a seller wants for it, right? It's not too far fetched to think that that would happen. But, some of these knives are, the pricing on them And I'll tell you, what I do is, if I can, like if it's eBay, I will go. If they don't have a or best offer up, I'll send them a message and say, hey, if it doesn't sell, I'd be willing to pay this for it. And it's interesting because every now and then, man, somebody will kind of snap back at me. It's like, well, if I wanted your offer, I would have put, it's like, I thought you were trying to sell something. I mean, it seems odd to me that you would be upset that somebody's coming at you saying, hey, I'm interested in your merchandise, but it happens every now and then, man. Somebody just gets upset that I'm reaching out saying, hey, I'd be willing to pay this for it. I think sometimes it's easy to just overpay for some of this stuff, get excited about it, and then spend too much money on it. Let's see, can I put this in from the? Nah, it only's going to go from the one side, so we're going to have to press everything down onto the lock. It's just the nature of it. It's the way it's got to be. It's the way they built it. I cannot flip this pivot around to the other side. But that's all right. We'll work with what we have right there. So, need a little lube. And then I'm pretty sure it's this washer. Yeah. And then a little lube. I mean, I wonder now if I shouldn't, since I have this blade off, if I shouldn't try to smooth off this knife a little bit, the blade stock. I think I'm gonna. I didn't do the scale, and maybe I should do that as well. Let's do the blade, and then while I'm doing that, I'll consider. There's that side. And I'm not going for perfection. And this blade stock's heavy. So as long as that's lubed and all these surfaces are reasonably smooth, it's going to work good. I think I am going to try to smooth these off. I have them exposed, so why not, right? Like I said, I'm not going for perfection here. I'm just trying to gain a little bit on it. Let's I'm going to get this one. I know I lubed it, but I will wipe that clean. My little belt here, whew, I might have to get that attachment out so I can spin this and then clean it really good with an eraser. Yeah, those erasers that I use do a really good job of cleaning all the metal and the gunk off of these belts, but I'd have to get that little attachment out. I'm not even sure if I know where it's at. Okay. I might try to do this one just a little better. All right. Then I'm going to wipe them off. And then we'll assemble again. All right, G. And then the lock bar has been carbonized on these. You don't see that a lot anymore, but I mean, back a ways, that was the thing to do, man. Versus, milling that out, machining that, and putting a liner metal insert in it. You know what I mean? Which I think is kind of the go-to process now. You don't see a lot of that carbonizing going on. I know one other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little bit in this track where that detent ball is running. That's ceramic. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A little anger management reference. I'm not sure anybody's ever picked up on it. I say it, but oh yeah. It's actually a horrible scene in that movie. Alright. Are we all pressed good here? No, there we are. I was wondering. Man, what a cool piece. I actually had this piece bought from a seller in the Middle East and had a deal, and it fell through. Like, in the end, it just fell apart. I was going to buy two like new older Kizers, this one and another one, and the seller was discounting a fair piece from what he was asking, and I think I just had a moment to think about it and reflect on it, and then decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I need more money for them. And of course, once I make a deal, if the seller wants more money, ooh, that's a toughie. I kind of fall into like, like buying a car deal and then, thinking I got it for X price, and then out of nowhere, it's like there's a bunch of additional charges. It's like, what? No, I'm not paying none of that. We just wrangled for 2 hours to get to this place, and now you think I'm going to pay more? No, I ain't. You either sell it to me for what we negotiated, or I'm out. Like, yeah, we're not going to add money. No. That's kind of, I kind of fell into that category for me, and so I couldn't swing a deal. And then the seller relisted both pieces for astronomically more money, like way more than his original listing. And they're still out there. I still see them. I've got one I'm looking at right now that is pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen it before. And the seller's was asking $190 for it. And then I offered substantially less than they were asking. And they came back and took like $5 off their price. And so I declined it. I didn't even counter offer. It's like, yeah, we're so far apart, man. I got other things to do. Well, then they put it up for sale. They lowered their price like within, less than 48 hours. They lowered the price to $10 more than I was offering, substantially less than they countered me for. And so now I'm thinking I'm going to offer them a bunch less than I was. But see, how petty is that? It's like I was willing to pay X, but since we got into these negotiation games, now you're trying to move your stuff and it's not moving. So now you're coming closer to my offer, but I feel like being petty and going, yeah, I'm going to offer you less now. I can't offer you that much. Because I thought it was worth that, but clearly it's not because nobody's buying it for that. I know, I'm being petty, right? Like, that's what's going around in my head. It's like, well, I was willing to pay that for it, almost. I should go back and just re-emphasize, hey, if you just drop it a little bit, that's the offer I was making you. And then get it sold, I'll pay you and get it coming. Ooh, this towel must be dirty. I'm going to get rid of it. I don't like wiping a dirty knife with a dirty towel, and then the towel makes the knife dirtier than it was when I started. It's like, what? Yeah. You only get one of those passes, man. All right. So, I'd love to ask you what you think. Look at that anodizing. I love that. On whether I should apply oil to this scale, which will make it black. What do you think? I wish you could answer. Just the Hinderisk design of these knives, man, is so good. Just makes me go, well, where did these go? Because these are so wonderful. I think I'm going to grab that dirty towel and I'm going to apply oil to that. Why not, right? Come on, let's see what it does. Worst case, I got to pull that scale and put it back in the ultrasound. Can't say enough good about that ultrasound, man. Wow, it just really gets rid of the grime and stuff. All right, let's go with the thicker nap. Take one spot and see if I can't get that throughout that whole scale. Oh, yeah. Come on. I should just call that rejuvenation. Look at it. Looks like brand new. All right, now I'm gonna take the same towel, get off of that oily spot, and I'm gonna wipe it because I don't want all that residual oil on there. Wow. Yeah, that was a no-brainer. Looks like brand new. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy. Look at it. Stunning. Oh, it looks good. And then this side with the anodizing. Those big washers, that heavy blade. Smooth. Man, is it smooth. And it'll only get better, right? Like, it won't be long and this thing will probably be drop shut. It's taking just a little bit of shake. It's got a spidey flick. Wonderful action. So let me rate that. So on washers in this knife, I'm going to call it a B+. and it won't be long till it works its way up to an A minus, and possibly, I mean, if I really wanted to work on it and smooth up the blade and the scales and polish those washers, I could get this to at least A, maybe even A plus action for washers. Yeah, this thing runs so well. And it's, I mean, it's like literally a hinder. Look at the flipper tab, the jimping strategically placed on the scales. Let's move on to the grip. Yeah, it's hinder-esque, man. I am locked in. The jimping is very aggressive, combat style. The flipper tab is large and really locks the hand in. And the grip on this, not so confident, very confident. So this knife goes whoop all the way up to very confident. Super locked in, very confident grip. Even more so here, it gives me the jimping on the back to cap that off and really grip down here. I mean, extremely aggressive jimping on this knife, not so much that way. Yeah, wonderful ergonomics. Let's check the pocket clip. I mean, this was a find. I mean, I clearly got it at a great price because it was dirty and, I mean, there's some wear on this pocket clip, I guess. Maybe. It tip down only on the pocket clip. There's no other options, but it runs wonderfully, and it does have a profile. I don't know, less than a ½ inch, but there's a profile sticking out, but plenty of texture to grab and pull out, retrieve this knife. It's got great tension, even in the thin stuff. My spot in the back pocket, wonderful. Yep. Comes out of pocket, and the ploy, man, good stuff. I like the pocket clip, and it would be easy to put more tension on this. This ramp doesn't affect that grip at all. It falls into place right here, and it's flat enough that honestly I barely feel it. I mean, I don't even know that I feel it. Yeah, it's just, it falls in a perfect spot there. The ergos, the pocket clip, wonderful. Let's check this for safety. Yeah, that knife's already dropping better now. Yeah, there's no contact through the backspacer. The tip is recessed, so it's safe. So the clip is good, tip is good, and then I feel confident I can handle this knife in any way and not risk cutting myself as long as it's closed. If this knife is closed, the blade is protected. Yeah, very nice. Good stuff. Wonder if it's sharp. VG10 steel. I don't see a piece of paper here, so I'm gonna get one. I think I'm running low on these phone books. Might have to get on social media. See if I can find phone books anywhere. All right, here we go. Are we sharp? It's got a couple of little boogers. Let's drop it. See if I can't resolve the little jimps right out of the gate. Man, I like this knife. It's a good one. I mean, I will say, I've gotten a couple of these older Kizers and kind of went, meh. Where it ended up, I don't know. Sometimes, you know how it goes. Sometimes it's form over function type thing. But like this one's form and function. It's both. Wonderful form. And the function on it, it's legit. Ooh, I might have to put an edge on this. I can feel it coming across my wood right there. It is burred up. Yeah, I might have to put an edge on this one. Which is okay. I mean, I have 2 of these, so more than likely I'll purge one, keep one. If I put an edge on this one, this would be the one I would keep. Maybe. I don't know. Depends. All right, let's see. Take another run at it. Shit. How about just needed a strap? Yeah, come on. Crazy sharp. Yeah. All right. Kizer, it's got a model number. VG10 steel. Where's that model number? There it is. KI4404. Kizer. Dimpled G10. It's got titanium scales on both sides. It's just got this G10 overlay. But this side is full titanium. The other side is just a titanium scale with a G10 overlay. So the knife is light. I mean, it's a light knife. Very comfortable. All right, y'all. Hey, I appreciate you watching. I would do price and availability, but it's one of those. I mean, you're going to have to search for it. What would you expect to pay for it? I'm going to say that, typically these are probably going to be in the $120 range, 120 to 150. If I saw one for 150 and I wanted one, I would try to negotiate. Of course now, if I saw one for 120, I would try to negotiate, If I saw it for $90, I would try to negotiate. It's pretty rare that I find something and the price on it is so spot on that I just go, yeah, I'll pay you what you're asking. But it happens. Unfortunately, I think the standard is to overprice something and then assume they're going to negotiate, right? Where, I mean, I'll be honest, if you price it right, we could avoid all that, But some people want a discount no matter what, right? Maybe that's me. I don't know. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching, man. What a beautiful knife.